round. So let's turn back now live to 9 Mile Brewing with Elizabeth and Ben. How is TCL in your town going, you guys? Looks like a super fun crowd out there.
Are you kidding me? It's a great crowd out here.
Hey, crowd! Are you great or what?
You feel like a little bit of a rock star when you kind of do stuff like that.
I know. You think you're playing in a football game again, don't you?
I know.
Think this is the crowd in the
interact with
stadium.
crowds like this before. This is super fun.
It's so fun. It is really fantastic to have everybody here from Bloomington. Everyone's having a great time this afternoon. And we've got the whole gang here. We got Kelly here, Chris Eggert, you saw the DeRoches, and we even have Jody Levon.
Jody Levon is here. Our happy medium is here to hang out with us. Come on in, Jody. It's great to see you.
Hello, everybody. We are happy that you're here. Okay, we're going to talk about something called spiritual bypassing, but I do want to know before we get to that, when you're in a place like this where there's a huge crowd, there's all sorts of energy, everything going on, we know what that does like for us.
Yeah.
What does that do though for you?
Probably something very similar. It's like radios being on in my head, like 18 of them, and it's all good stuff, but I have to close it down so I can concentrate on who I'm talking to.
Right, and I got to think with a place like this where everybody's in a good mood, it's at least it's all good feelings, right?
It's infectious. It's wonderful, but then I want to wander over and tell somebody over here, oh no, you'll get pregnant, but that's... I mean, you might feel the same way. You can feel those things around people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't really feel those things,
but
I get it. I get it. Working on the boundaries is always important. Let's talk about, though, this idea of spiritual bypassing. This was something that you wanted to make sure we talk about because you think a lot of us are doing it, and maybe it's not serving us. What is it?
It's glorifying tragedy. It's using something to bypass your own emotions and dealing with your feelings about it. It's completely sidestepping things. So it's glorifying something tragic and telling somebody there's a silver lining when there isn't a silver lining. Sometimes there's no silver lining, and that's all right. Because if something happens to you that isn't good, someone, God forbid, hits your car, and you go, it's okay, it's okay. No, it's not. So I know that I did this when I was diagnosed with an illness. I blamed it on myself. That's spiritual bypassing, and that's why I started to study it. Like, why would it be my fault that I got cancer? And I would never do that to someone else, but we do it to ourselves when we don't give ourselves permission to process our own feelings and anger.
Yeah.
And appropriately just deal with it and keep moving forward instead of saying it's okay when it's not, and putting a pretty picture on it and telling everybody things are okay when it's not okay.
Is it similar to that toxic positivity idea?
That is in the same category, absolutely. But it is a way for you to not deal with what's going on for you. It's a way to use that so you don't have to develop emotionally. You don't have to go through the steps that you need to go through whatever you're going through. You have to use what you know for yourself. You have to have self-acceptance. You have to have grace for other people, and you have to be able to stand up.
So is that why we subconsciously do it? Is because we kind of know through life experience, like, oh, this is going to be hard if I have to deal with this emotionally. So let me just build up this positive barrier and just say, like, oh no, it's fine. I'll just brush it off. It's,
Exactly.
I'll be the bigger person. I'll have thick skin.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually spiritual bypassing, to say it happens for a reason, because yes or no, you don't really know. And I said it. I've done it. And that's like, that could be, but to say that doesn't give really the power to the person that's going through it to say this is awful, it's okay that it's awful. Whether there's something that's going to good happen, you do that for yourself. The only thing good about tragedy is what you do with it. It isn't just a gift. It's no gift.
So there is a point, though. There is a point where we probably have to look at it from a positive standpoint, or at least get over it. So is there is every situation unique, or is there like a kind of a timeline as far as like, okay, accept that it happened. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be mad. And then we'll go through the steps of actually dealing with it.
Exactly. You have to go through that. But people don't want to be angry. They don't think it's pretty. And anger is lovely. It works you through things. It helps elevate you. And that's what you want to do. Work it out. Make sure that you work it out. And then you're going to be free and clear. And if somebody says it's okay, then you're not going to argue with them.
Okay, give me a specific situation example. Like if you're going through something really hard and you find yourself kind of going like, this is my fault, or everything happens for a reason, how would you like us to sort of retrain our thoughts?
So then you say, this is happening for a reason that I don't know, and it's all right that I don't know. This is something I need to go through because it's being presented to me, and I'm going to go through it honestly. I'm going to have people support me. I'm going to be really clear and clean about it. I'm going to work it through. There's things I need to do to develop as a human being, and then when I'm on the other side of it, I'll know.
And you know what I found in my own personal life is that it's actually a good motivator. You know, if you realize and you accept the fact, like, man, I screwed up. Like, this is not good. Like, I affected myself or other people in such a way that I don't want to just sugarcoat that. I want to, you kind of have to own that and be like, okay, that's my motivation to do better the next time.
And you have to love yourself. You love yourself. That's a very cool thing. You have to love yourself enough to give yourself that. And not everybody does. And I didn't realize that I didn't love myself enough. That's what you learn from this. It's like, it's okay to go through whatever you're going through. You don't have to be sickeningly sweet about it. You can just be honest.
I think that's really important as we think about gathering for the holidays and getting together with family and understanding that we don't always have to say, well, everything happens for a reason. There's a silver lining. Just allowing people to feel how they feel, and then maybe rephrasing of, like, is there anything you've learned from this so far, or are you thinking you would learn something from it? Might be a way to say, let's figure out what we can get out of it without having to force you to be positive about it.
And your tummy doesn't hurt as much.
And if you just don't eat too much, your tummy won't hurt as much too, Jody. So that's a good lesson too.
Thank you so much, Jody.